Welcome, everybody. Welcome to everybody in attendance today, and for all those live streaming at home. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're here to talk about some significant developments that has happened in the Nancy Doherty case over the last several weeks. My name is Chief Vern Manor of the Chisholm Police Department. With me here tonight are several members of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, members of the family, and County Attorney's Office, and we'll be introducing them soon. This is the day Nancy Doherty's family and all of Chisholm have waited for over 34 years. Today, Chisholm Police Department investigators, BCA agents, and St. Louis County Sheriff's deputies arrested Michael Allen Carbo Jr. for the sexual assault and murder of Nancy Doherty. We are truly gratified to be able to provide some answers to Nancy's family about what happened. And after all these years, take a killer off our streets. Some of our investigators have worked this case their entire careers, and I am grateful for their efforts. We are also grateful as well to the BCA and to so many assisting law enforcement agencies that continue to work this case for more than 3 decades. I'd like to explain a little bit about what happened to Nancy that night and how we came to be standing here today. Nancy Doherty was last seen alive just after midnight on July 16th, 1986. She had been out with a friend and was planning to move from Chisholm to the Twin Cities the next day. Her friend showed up to help her move some furniture later that day, and Nancy didn't answer the door or her telephone. Eventually, her friend and a concerned neighbor called us to check on her. When officers entered Nancy's home, we found her deceased. She had been beaten, sexually assaulted, and strangled. It appeared a struggle had occurred both outside and inside the home. Witnesses later reported hearing a woman screaming earlier on in the morning hours. While there was DNA evidence at the scene, it didn't match anyone. Over the years, investigators interviewed and collected DNA samples from more than 100 people. We pursued every tip and lead that came in, but came up empty every time. A few months ago, I decided to pursue genetic genealogy as a way to possibly generate new leads in the case. Through that process, Mr. Carbo was identified as a possible suspect in this case. Our investigators, BCA agents, and St. Louis County deputies surveilled Mr. Carbo and surreptitiously obtained DNA evidence that BCA scientists matched to the crime scene. Today, we met with Mr. Carbo and with his permission collected a swab directly from him. This afternoon, BCA scientists confirmed the match and Mr. Carbo was taken into custody. I'll now turn it over to BCA Superintendent Evans, who will speak a little further on the BCA's role in this investigation.
Thanks, Chief. Well, good evening, and thank you all for being here with us this evening to share this important news on the developments in the Nancy Doherty case. I want to first start by thanking all the women and men of the BCA that worked diligently on this case for the same decades, alongside our partners from the Chisholm Police Department who never gave up on this case. In addition, the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office, St. Louis County Attorney's Office that have worked collectively together on this case to pursue leads on this investigation and to really search for the person that was responsible for Nancy's death so many years ago. BCA agents and scientists have been working on this case alongside Chisholm PD for 34 years. And the thing that we're most proud of today is that we finally give answers to her family. That's what the Chisholm community's been looking for. That's what her family's been looking for, so that somebody is held accountable for the crimes that that individual committed on that date. This crime scene was examined at that time time, and evidence was collected that was really important to this investigation. We had multiple full DNA profiles that were recovered from the same individual in that scene. As the chief mentioned, genetic genealogy finally provided the lead that ultimately led to the DNA match in today's arrest. Genealogists accomplish this through a combination of comparative DNA analysis. They measure the amount of DNA and they look for people that may be related to somebody in publicly available databases. Those genealogists then search through those databases that are available in public forums, that are agreements in place that law enforcement is able to use those, and then they're able to determine if somebody was linked to that case. In this case, we got just such a lead. So today, as that sample was collected, a sample was collected from Mr. Carbo, and it was flown down to our laboratory in St. Paul, where it was examined today to have a known sample from him, and it was matched to the crime scene from all those years ago, finally providing the key piece of evidence that we needed in this case to move it forward so that we can provide those answers we've been searching for. What I want everybody to know in this is we wanted Nancy's family to know from day one is while these cases to us continue year after year, they are never cold in our eyes. Every time we examine a piece of evidence or technology advances, these investigators and the chief, as he mentioned, look at that evidence again to see can we provide additional answers and information so that we can solve cases, because a murder in a community can never go unsolved, and we will all work together collectively as partners to bring to justice those who harm people in our communities across Minnesota. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the St. Louis County Attorney's Office for a couple of comments.
Good evening. My name is Carl Sundquist. I'm Assistant County Attorney with the St. Louis County Attorney's Office. First off, our condolences to the family of Nancy Doherty, and also just wanted to show our appreciation for the unwavering dedication of all the law enforcement agencies that throughout the years have been involved with this case to get it to where it is now. Just today, seeing everybody work together was amazing. Tomorrow morning, it is the County Attorney's Office intent to file charges of a second-degree intentional murder, and those will come tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you. And as I said, today, Nancy's daughter, Gina, and her husband, David, are here in attendance. And while it's difficult, is elated as she is, it's difficult to speak about her mother. So she wrote down a nice tribute to her mother, and I'm here to read that. So bear with me, I'm reading this. My mom loved to help people. From her job at the nursing home, caring for the elderly, to working on the ambulance service, helping those who needed a caring touch in an emergency. We drove to Alaska one summer, and she stopped the car so she could help accident victims until they could be life-flighted to the nearest hospital. She took care of her family as well. Everyone that knew her will say the same. She was happy, loved to take care of people, and loved her family. Until 1986, when she was taken from us, there are no words to describe the terrible holes that were left in so many lives, including my own. So many tears and struggles. She has missed so much, and I miss her love and guidance. She missed my graduation from college, my wedding, the births of her grandchildren,